Alright everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to Ask iGlaswegian episode 2 with my cool iPad. First question is, what do you need to become a YouTube partner? How many views? How many subscribers? Basically, when I got partnered back in 2010, I only had 450 odd subs. That was it. Didn't have thousands of views or thousands of subscribers. You can pretty much subscribe anytime, given that you feel that, you know what, it's a good time to put an application in because perhaps you've seen an increase in comments, an increase in video views. I'm not saying if you make your first video today you should go out and get an application. Wait a couple of months, wait a couple of weeks, build up your audience, and then if you feel I'm getting so many hits, go apply for it. It's free. The worst thing is you're going to get a no back, but that is the worst thing that could happen. Apply anytime you wish, and now, you know, come 2 years later on down the line, YouTube has done some kind of fixes, so there is no criteria as to you have to have X, Y or Z to get a partner. The guy also mentioned that he has 3,000 views on one of his videos, so he doesn't think he's slacking, but compare that to every single one of your videos on your channel. How is it compared to that? Have you perhaps got 3,000 views on one video and then 500 on your others or less? That could be one of the things that YouTube check out when they're applying. Next question is, what is my favourite music genre? I would say it's a mixture of various ones: hip hop, R&B, dance, trance, a bit of pop, but I may not admit to that. But you know, I like a mixture, not just one particular thing. I like variety, and I guess it goes the same with you guys. Next question. Not really a question, as you're about to see. I'm going to school and I'm waiting till the last day. I want a new Mac Pro to be released. Let me hold you there. School and Mac Pro do not match. Not match. I'm not sure, but Mac Pro might just be that much of an overkill. Just that much. Of course I'm exaggerating, but you're at school, you don't really want to spend hundreds and thousands of pounds just on a Mac Pro. You're most probably best suited for an iMac, and even that might be an overkill. I might be wrong, but I think a Mac Pro is just a totally wrong thing to look at when you're at school. Of course, it's your money, you could do everything, but I don't think it's suited for the average Joe. Next up, Pimp Your iPhone 3G writes this, and thanks so much for writing this. Again, thanks to everyone who came by the stall at the Gadget Show and had a chat. I do feel a bit bad. I had a lot of people said they were going to come by and have a chat and so on, and didn't really have any time to have a one-on-one or an Iron Brew or cup of tea, whatever. I thought I would have time, but it just wasn't the case, especially because myself and my brother were the only people at the stand. We didn't really have any people. So where I did have a chat, it was a quick 2 or 3 minutes, and that was about it. So apologies if you did come by, or some of you I know said on Twitter you came by to the stand and I was busy so you couldn't talk and you just moved on. So sorry that that happened, but hopefully we shall meet again in future events or future meetups or whatever. Next, sometimes I read these questions and I want to do one of those epic Facepalm on screen. I never thought I would come to trust an Australian after what happened to me. But I always come to your channel before I buy Apple products. Who would have thought? You're da best. I ain't Australian, love. I presume you're a girl by the... or maybe not, I don't know. Buying Australian, I would say 90% of the comments I got across my videos is to do with my accent. Being called everything under the roof from William Wallace. Shrek is quite a famous one. There's Captain McTavish is back from Call of Duty, he's not dead. That's quite famous, it's quite up there on the charts. And of course you guys in the comments are going to add to the list or, you know, re-jog my memory. But yeah, it's good banter or have a good laugh looking at some of these, but it does get repetitive when you get Shrek emails, and a lot of them. Next up, Blackstar asks, can you give me some information on a Mac Pro refresh? I wish I could. I love doing the Apple Weekly series, and anything that I do here I share with you guys. You know, I love doing it, and that's why it's kind of going on, my kind of passion for it. But we haven't really heard anything on the Mac Pro end, and it's a shame. I don't think it's the right way Apple are going about it, to be honest. If you take a look at all the Pro applications, or let's take a look at Final Cut Pro X, Apple have recently, or give movie guys a heads up as to what is coming down later on the year with updates. Recently at NAB they announced, you know what, hey, these 3 features plus more is what is going to happen with Final Cut Pro X over the next few months. And I wish to do the same with the Mac Pro. The Mac Pro is not a device for the average consumer. It's there for the high end, for that business, for that enterprise customer. They need to know if Apple is going to be providing support for this come, 1, 2, 3 years down the line. If I was a business, I had Mac Pros, I would want to know now what is going on. Is Apple going to be supporting them, or should I be looking for another vendor? Should I be looking at HP or Microsoft? Because heck, Apple aren't going to support it, so what's the point in buying it now? So really what I'm trying to say is Apple should, contact these big customers and say, look, Mac Pro refresh is coming, but we're waiting for chips from Intel, or there is going to be another Mac Pro refresh. Just update us beforehand, or update the pro end customers so they know and they can have that satisfaction, rather than waiting till the last minute or waiting for 2 years now for a Mac Pro refresh and there's still really no word if Apple is going to be supporting them or killing it off like they done with the Xserve. Me personally, I'm not going to be getting a Mac Pro, but I'm hella excited to see what is going to come up, and I guess for me it's Mac more than iOS. Stephen on Facebook asks, do you think it's possible for Apple to have a massive launch for all the revamped MacBook Pros and iMacs at the Mountain Lion launched? No, they haven't done that in the past. Not to say that they won't do it here, but logically they didn't do any kind of multiple refreshes come Lion or Leopard or Snow Leopard or Tiger, I think that was that. So can they make the exception this time, but why would they? Usually Apple tend to have a month or 2 months in between Mac lineups, and they haven't had a Mac lineup this year at all. The first quarter's gone, and they usually do have a Mac refresh in, spaced out. So this year could be the exception where they just throw 2 or 3 Macs out at the one go, or they might space it out. Whatever the case, I'm hoping for a Mac refresh this month in May, and then come WWDC in June next month, we'll see a second Mac refresh. And last but not least, Devang on Twitter asks, what's the craziest hairstyle I've ever had? This here is the only kind of hairstyle I've ever had, and I'm not one for doing funky designs or colours or whatever. But it can be argued that this is the craziest thing you've seen, and no doubt some of you are going to comment on the haircuts in the comments below. But guys, that is it for this week. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or ask on Facebook, or heck, ask on Twitter as well using hashtag AskIG, and I shall see you in the next video, guys.
Whether it be an iPhone, a Nokia, HTC, Samsung, heck, any smartphone on the market, it's compatible with our garments.
There is indeed a pocket for this, and a pocket for that. You can buy it today at igear.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You never know, you might be the next one to get in on our free giveaway.